Okay. All right. Welcome everybody to our online Christmas event. So happy you could all be here with us today and celebrate Christmas in a little different way with the Positive Thinkers Club. Typically every year we have a little gathering where we have music by our Positive Thinkers band. We have Santa show up for some gift giving and just a celebration with our group, and it's always a great time. So I'm very grateful for everybody who showed up today to be here with us. Just a little bit about what's happening today. So it's a little different than what we are used to. But we had, myself and Sheldon have been talking about this for quite some time, and Stella Circle has been a great organization in our community, has been doing so many wonderful things for people. And we thought it would be a great idea to include them in our Christmas event. They couldn't be here with us on a live event, but they were so amazing and put together a great video of Lisa Brown, who is the CEO. They also put together a cooking demo, so we have a video to share with you about cookies, and they also gave us a little tour of the Hungry Heart Cafe. And also the Stella Circle Inclusion Choir also put together some music for us. And we're going to share that today to get us in the mood for the Christmas spirit, of course. Plus, we also have members who are going to share some Christmas stories that are close and dear to them. And we also have Judith Royal, who's going to be sharing a group card reading for us. So quite excited about that. And we also have some prizes to give away, and we are going to leave our wonderful event with a song by the Stella Circle Inclusion Choir, What a Wonderful World. So we're very, very grateful for you to be here with us. Now, just a little bit of, I put together, 2020 has been so different for our club. And of course, every year I like to express gratitude to the people who volunteer. And without those people, we would not be here. And we had a wonderful lineup of guest speakers this year. These are the wonderful women who showed up for us. They had so many different topics for us. We had dancing, we had singing, we had just so many great things. So not to name everybody, but we had Grace Shears, we had Judith Royal, we had Sonia Byrne, and we also had Raven Warren with us, who was with us last week. And we're very, very grateful for those people for showing up for our online events. Very, very grateful. And we also, of course, I want to show gratitude to our volunteer board. Without these people, we would not be able to put these functions together. And I'm very grateful for everything that they do for our club to make sure that we're flowing and doing everything in such a way. And especially this year, showing up in a different way. And very, very grateful for these people. And it's been a while since I've done affirmations. I think I'd done them when the pandemic first came out. But Christmas time is a little different this year. A lot of people are experiencing some heavy things. Some people are not even experiencing that, but we're all different, and it's all different for everybody. So I put together these affirmations for us to do together. Now, if you would like to unmute yourself to say these affirmations, what I'll do is I'll repeat one, and then you can repeat after me. So please feel free to unmute yourself if you wish. And for affirmations, so affirmations are basically anything that we say in our minds or out loud. And most of us are conditioned to go to the negative and are not always aware that we can say some great positive things to set the tone for our lives and for other people as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this. And like I said, please repeat after me with the affirmations. Okay. I am grateful for my health this season.
I am grateful for my health this season.
I am grateful for my family and friends.
I am grateful for my family and friends.
My life works in magical ways around the holidays.
My life works in magical ways around the holidays.
I am loved for more than just the gifts that I give.
I am
loved for more than just the gifts I give.
I am breathing and staying calm.
I am breathing and staying calm.
I am calm and confident in everything that I do.
I am calm and confident in everything I do.
I love the holidays. I love Christmas.
I
love the holidays. I love Christmas.
Perfect. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm going to stop my share here. Go. How's everyone feeling? Ready for the Christmas? Hi, Rosalind.
Hey, I had trouble getting in.
You're here. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
I'm so happy you're here. All right, so our next item up on our agenda for this morning is the videos from the Stella Circle. So this is at least 15 minutes long. So I'm just going to play it. It's beautiful what they put together for us. I'm very grateful. I hope you like it too. And just to get started with that, I just got to do some arranging on my screen.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Brown, CEO of Stella Circle, and I'm so grateful to be with you here today, even virtually, and I really appreciate the invitation. I have been fortunate enough to be CEO of Stella Circle for almost 6 years now, and I really just think it's an incredible organization that provides assistance to so many people. At Stella Circle, our mission is to transform lives by offering real homes, real help, and real work. And that translates into offering housing services, counseling programs, and various employment services. One of the things that has really struck me this year in 2020 is all about being grateful. And I know that 2020 has been such a tough year, and we've seen it at Stella Circle in so many ways. Not just related to the pandemic, but also related to back in January when we had that huge blizzard. And that was a tough time. And, you know, we operate a homeless shelter for young women called Naomi Center. People actually had to snowshoe into work to get in because we have programs that never shut down. So to have staff who cared so deeply that they snowshoed into work, we had staff who couldn't get home and had to stay on the work site for about 36 hours or so, just so showing incredible commitment and dedication. And so I'm really grateful for them, for the staff, for all the work that they do. I'm also really grateful this year for all of our supporters. We've had incredible donors who've really stepped up during the pandemic, and what a year it's been. We have really had to change a lot of what we've done in so many different ways. For example, the Hungry Heart Cafe, and you're going to learn a little bit more about the cafe shortly, but the cafe has so far cooked and distributed over 6,500 meals. That's an incredible amount of meals that they have distributed this year. We have done things like we're the first community organization to offer therapy assisted online to the correctional facility for women in Clarenville. So the prison was shut down during the pandemic, and we typically provide services to the women in the prison system a couple of times a week, and so we continue to do that, but virtually. And maintaining that connection is so important because for so many people, 2020 has been all about isolation. So despite all these challenges, I've been immensely grateful to all of our supporters, to our staff, to our volunteers, to our participants who have really had to pivot themselves in terms of how they accept services and recognizing what it is that they need to continue to be healthy and on their road to recovery. The other thing that strikes me is in 2021, I think and I hope that we all consider what is our impact on the world. And sometimes, you know, you can think one person can't change the world or one person doesn't have much of an impact. And I really think that's not true. I think one person can certainly have a lot of impact. And I can see that every day at Stella Circle. You know, somebody who smiles at someone, and you don't know that maybe they're struggling inside, but just to see that little sense of connection is so important. And so I'm really encouraging you and everyone to consider what is your impact. And I get to see that impact in so many different ways. Stella Circle operates a number of social enterprises, such as the Hungry Heart, but also Clean Start, which is a commercial cleaning business. And we train and employ participants who maybe haven't worked in quite some time or have various challenges that they need support in. And we always like to say that the best social program is a job, and you can really see how people's lives change when they're working and they become more sustainable for themselves and for their families. So I hope that you do consider that word impact. What does it mean to you? The vision at Stella Circle is a home, a job, and a community. And that's what we all want. A safe place to live, a job, and also some friends. And I know within your society here, you're together with people that you enjoy being with and you have similar values. And I think that's wonderful that you've developed that sense of community. So I hope that I can be with you in the future sometime soon, and I hope that you'll learn a little bit more about Stella Circle with this video and also with the Hungry Heart video, and as well our Stella Circle Inclusion Choir, which I'm a very proud member of. And I hope that it brings you a bit of joy and connectedness during this holiday season. So I hope you have a great holiday and hope to see you in 2021.
Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm the baker at the Hungry Heart Cafe, and today we're going to make a winter whipped shortbread. So this recipe is based on an almond spritz cookie. I found it in a traditional Swedish cookbook, but the spritz cookie originates from Germany. The recipe has been altered a little bit, and we can go through the method. So the first step with any cookie, most cookies, is to start with soft butter. You want it to be at room temperature, and you put that into your mixing bowl. And whatever sugar you're going to use, today we're using confectioner sugar, icing sugar. And you put that in there with the butter. And for whipped shortbread, you're going to use a whip. You put that in there and set her all up. You're going to want to let this whip until it becomes very white and light and fluffy. Okay. Every once in a while, you're going to want to stop your mixer, take everything out, and give the bowl a good scrape just so everything gets in there really nice. And then put it back on. Okay, when it's done whisking or whipping, it'll be very light in color, almost white. And it'll look a little bit bigger than when you started because air gets into it and expands it. So the next thing you do is you're going to take 2 egg whites, and while it's whipping, after you scrape the bowl, you're going to put your egg whites in there and let it mix just a little bit more. So once the egg is incorporated, you're going to want to take your dry ingredients, which are almond flour, baking powder, salt, and all-purpose flour, and you're going to want to whisk them together until it's uniform. And with your mixer running, you're just going to add a little bit at a time until it's all incorporated. So once it's all together, it forms a soft dough. You're going to want to just kind of mix it a little extra with the spatula, and it turns out like just a soft and tacky dough. So at that point, I want to get a piping bag with a star tip and fill it up. So something I like to do to make sure that my piping is clean and consistent is I draw some circles on the back of a piece of parchment paper. You can use a cookie cutter or glass, anything really that's a circle, and draw it on the parchment paper, but make sure it's marker side down so marker doesn't get in your cookie. And all you're going to want to do is trace that circle with your piping bag. If you don't have a piping bag, you can use a lot of people like to use a Ziploc bag with the corner cut off the side, or you can get something called a cookie press, where you put the dough right into, it's like a gun, you put it right into the little chamber and pull the little trigger and it shoots out a nice little shape, either a snowflake or a tree. You can pick those up at any craft store. They're not even very expensive, but I prefer the piping bag. To finish it off, I like to use some colored sanding sugar, and you just sprinkle it on top. It just gives a little bit of extra holiday cheer. Well, at this point, you're going to want to set it in your refrigerator, let it chill for at least an hour before putting it into the oven. That helps prevent it from spreading out and just gives you a nicer texture in the end. So these are fresh from the oven now. As you can see, they're a little bit bigger than when they went in the oven. That's it. Enjoy.
My name is Maurice Boudreau. I'm one of the chef instructors here at the Hungry Heart Cafe. 2020 has been a really tough year in the restaurant industry, and pretty tough year overall for many. We're very fortunate and thankful this year that we've had some great donors and some community partners that have helped us throughout this difficult time for such things as community meals and supporting our population. You know, the food insecurity is a big thing these days, and a lot of people are struggling. So every little bit helps, and we're doing our part here. We've been very fortunate that we have a great team, and we're able to produce these meals daily, and right now we're at 6,300 and counting thus far. We're really looking forward now as we ramp up our business production again. Thankful to be open once again. We're looking forward to a busy Christmas and busy December season, and really hope to see a lot of you guys in. So give us a call, make your booking.
My name is Paul Fury. I'm a waiter at the Hungry Heart Cafe, and I've been here for 12 years. My favorite thing about working here is that it's a job in Newfoundland, and it would make my grandmother happy. I was frontline as a waiter and COVID during the dispatch for grab-and-goes and delivery services. And during the Snowmageddon, it was just a real help because the people helped everybody else. They're all pulling together. They have a lot of good people who are down and out, and they help them in their own capacity to excel and achieve themselves to be better. And they have a way of dealing with the individual as an individual and not just a number. I was on the streets before I came to Stella Circle, and when I got to Stella Circle, they gave me an apartment and a job to get off the streets. What Light Up Hope means to me is that tomorrow can always be brighter.
I am totally ready.
Are you ready to play?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. It doesn't show signs of stopping, and they brought some corn for poppity-pop. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally love me so. Let us know, let us know, let us know. When we finally kiss goodnight. How I hate going out in a storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let us know, let us know, let us know. Let us know, let us know, let us know. Let us know, let us know, let us know.
Not that much though.
Is when we were living in just down the road from Stella's Circle at Margaret's place, and we had a condo there, and we shared a community gardens project with Stella Circle, where we were planting lettuce and tomatoes and things of that nature, and Stella Circle were actually coming to help us out with the planting and the harvesting, and so they used the food that we grew in the garden at Margaret's place, and they were able to use the food in the restaurant. So they're certainly a great organization to partner with, and we just found them just superb. And the relationship we had with the young people in particular, from Choices for Youth, which are part of that organization, was also very motivating for us and motivating for the kids. The kids were communicating with us, and they were kids from various walks of life who had challenges themselves, but it was a very good experience for us and for them. So I just thought I'd share that with you too. Now, I just wanted to tell you a little story. I'm going to take you back as far as 1959, when I was a lad of mere 12 years old and living in London, in England, where I grew up. And it was Christmas Eve, and it had begun to snow. It doesn't snow very often in London. It does every so often, but certainly nothing like it does in Newfoundland. But it was Christmas Eve, and it was probably around 6 or 7 at night, something like that. And we were all at a family gathering, and my sister, who at that time was in her mid-20s, had come in with her recently announced fiance, Norman. So Shirley and Norman had just arrived, and he had bought her a beautiful fur coat as a Christmas gift. Now, we'd never seen a fur coat before. I mean, we knew what a fur coat looked like, but nobody in the family, of course, could afford one. So Shirley and Norman arrived in this beautiful fur coat, and we were all admiring it. And so she popped it in the closet, and we started to have some food. And I think Dad at the time, who loved gin and tonic, had 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe 6. And as the gentle falling snow was coming down, Dad decided that he would put on Shirley's brand new fur coat, go out through the front door, and parade. In fact, he was dancing a conga. Do you know what I mean by a conga? That's the best I can do. So there was Dad and Mum, and I think me and another brother. Shirley, of course, wasn't there because she naturally was very upset at Dad going out and dancing in a fur coat. So Dad led the charge with the fur coat on down the road, with us all behind saying do 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 do. And I don't think that Shirley spoke to him for at least about 6 months after that, way after Christmas. Anyway, she was very upset with the whole thing, but nonetheless, Dad had a great time, and we all had a good time. And so that was my Christmas story about Shirley's brand new fur coat. Sadly, she passed away last year, and in fact, I was in the UK for the eulogy, and that little story I told at the eulogy, and it went over really well. It certainly gave a bit of comic relief to a situation, obviously, of somebody passing on. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave, for sharing. Anybody else have any Christmas stories that they would like to share, or just a little information around Christmas, maybe to lift some spirits? You're more than welcome to share. Leslie, perfect. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm not wearing my Christmas outfit. Sorry about that. So I'm from Newfoundland, but I lived away for 27 years. And while I was living in Toronto, one Christmas, I wasn't going to be able to come home. I didn't think I was going to be able to come home. And so what happened was things shifted, and my parents still thought I wasn't coming home. And I told them that I think it was Christmas Eve, which is my birthday, that there was going to be a package arriving for them at 2 p.m. and that they had to be there to get this package, that I was really sorry that I wasn't going to be able to be home this Christmas. And what happened was, so the package was me, because at the last minute I was able to come home. So, and I knew that I was going to be there at their house at that time, but I didn't want to tell them just in case something happened and I wasn't going to be able to come. So at 2 o'clock, they're there waiting, and I ring the doorbell, and I remember Mom opens the door and she starts to cry, and Dad, Spence, and you know, Dad comes to the door, and it was just really, really wonderful. I miss my parents. They both transitioned, and I love them very much, but it was a really, really special Christmas. And, you know, having my birthday there is always good. As a child, I didn't like my birthday at Christmas, but I really love it now. It was, so that was just a really special, that I was able to surprise them when they didn't think I was going to be able to be there. It just made that Christmas even more special.
Okay, I think if we're all good with sharing right now, we are going to open up the floor for Judith. She is going to do a special reading for us today for our group for Christmas.
Katie, your video is frozen. We're not actually seeing you in real time.
Can you hear me though?
We can hear you clearly,
Okay.
but we just have a picture of you on the screen.
Yeah, my internet has been unusually weird today, so I might stay frozen for a second. It just needs to, but Judith should be able to take over, I think.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm here.
same for Joel. We can't, Joel's not moving either. Oh yes, he is now. Maybe he was just stationary for a minute. Well, we can say, thanks, Joel.
I was just being stoic. I'll wiggle my hat. I don't have one of those button hats that you have, Dave. So I gotta flick mine.
Yeah, there you go. See?
I got it at the dollar store.
I got mine at the 50-cent store.
Oh, there you go. Oh my.
Okay.
Yes, Judith.
All righty. Well, while I'm shuffling here, I have some oracle cards here. While I'm shuffling, I'll explain a bit about what a group reading is. Whether you saw me, I think it was Wednesday night on Rogers TV, I was doing a group reading for the audience. And how I explained how that works is when people come together, since we're all energy, we're made up of energy. When people come together, there's a common thread throughout the whole group that brings us together because we're all looking for a vibrational match. So at the end of the interview, I had a couple of emails saying, I felt as though you were talking just to me. How do you do that? And it's not that I'm doing anything that's magical. It's just that when you set the intention for a message that's going to help you move forward in life, it is meant for the whole group. So quite often the message is general, but there's a particular theme that we're all supposed to pay attention to. So I'm going to divide the cards into 3 piles. And I use the card, I always call it to get my motor running. I use the picture on the card for Spirit to give me some information, and then I just go with the flow. And I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So Katie, as president, would you like to choose a pile, either the one on the left, in the middle, or on the right?
Let's go with middle.
All righty. All righty. So I set the intent in my mind before we started as to what we need to look forward to in 2021. What do we have to pay attention to get the most out of what we were given as gifts in 2020? So my first thought is that we have been presented with a number of lessons last year. It was up to us as to whether we learned the lessons or not. I call it getting it. And so we have different lessons that we have learned that are going to be meaningful for us. And so for us to get the most out of 2020 is to do some reflection on what exactly we did learn from this past year. And I know that everybody has had an opinion about what this past year is, but if you reframe your thoughts and ask yourself the question, what did I learn from last year? What gifts did I get out of 2020? And how can I apply that to 2021? And so you have this whole array of what is being offered to you. The universe is offering all the good things that it has to offer to you. You just have to reach out and ask for it. And actually this theme comes out over and over again. It doesn't matter who I'm working with, but we have to be able to reach out and ask for the help. Some of us are just so used to, and I'm guilty of that. I'm very independent. I live on my own. Some of us just don't even think to ask for help. And then what happens is something happens that puts us in a position of having to ask for help. An example for myself is I've had 2 knee replacements and a hip replacement. Well, I didn't have a choice. I had to ask for help, and my family were all in Ontario. So I had to ask for friends and colleagues for help. So if you're not getting the lesson, the universe is going to present that opportunity to you over and over and over again until you get it. So to make the most of 2021, try to look at 2020 in the most positive ways you can, and how can you apply that as you move forward to 2021. And the number here is 8. And 8 stands for prosperity, abundance. 8 is all the good things that you can access in life. So how I see that is you are presented with the oyster is the world is your oyster. That's what I'm trying to say. It's up to you to take whatever you need and want, but you need to know what you want and what you need out of life. And there we are. That's my song and dance for today.
Good job. Good job.
Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. It's going to be interesting 2021. I'm loving it. I'm looking forward to it, and that's a great reading for us in our group. So many lessons from 2020, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. Having to embrace technology and all the comfort zones. You know, some people are with the technology side, for one, like some people just are not into it.
Yes.
And so how do we bring that forward in 2021, especially if we have to continue to use the online format?
And there's the theme right there, Katie, is we have to start thinking outside of the box, because there is no normal anymore. There is no new normal. We're creating as we go.
For sure.
So if we run up against an obstacle, think outside the box. There must be some way around this that we can do what we need to do.
And may I say something?
You sure can.
I just wanted to say, for example, just now, Katie was our master. She was here doing everything for us, but she ran into trouble. What did she do? She quickly asked for help. And that was a beautiful example. She didn't, go off her head or fizz out or anything else like that. She just simply said, okay, Sheldon, can you help here? Sheldon came on and did it. It was a perfect example of what you're trying to say to us. To ask for help, to have someone there that you can depend on, a backup. And that's great. It was wonderful to see.
Yes. And Katie, I was going to text you after our group here and compliment you on how well you handled that.
Yes.
Because as I said, this has happened to me many times, and I break out into a cold sweat and I could just melt into a puddle. So I'm taking a page out of your book, and I'm going to be a tad more relaxed about these things that happen.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. It was a beautiful
Katie,
compliment.
you handled it beautifully.
Yes.
Like you swallow your pride and then get help that you needed to get. And I'm proud of you. Annette.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I appreciate Sheldon for helping. He's been a great help. It's amazing. So
good
looking forward to
teamwork.
2021.
Yes.
Yes, it's teamwork. Yeah.
Teamwork
I'm
indeed.
myself now.
Okay, so now I know we're a little bit later than anticipated, but I do have a couple of prize draws that I would like to do. So during the year, we didn't really put out any prize draws, and we usually do that at the end of each of our gatherings when we're in person. So today we have a $25 Indigo gift card for Chapters, Indigo Kohl's, or you can also shop online. And we also, which is coming this week, I have to pick up a $25 gift certificate for Hungry Heart Cafe for somebody to go out and enjoy lunch or pick up some baked goods, whatever you want to use for the Hungry Heart Cafe. And that's our way of thanking them for putting together the videos for us. So what I have here is, I was going to use a share screen, but technology is not working for me today. So on my phone, there's this little wheel, and I have everybody's name put into that. So when I was just entering that in, and we're going to spin the wheel and see who gets to win. Let's see. Tap to spin. So it's spinning. You probably can't see, but I will tell you. We have Gary Bambrick, who won the $25 Indigo card. I'm not sure if you can hear me, Gary, but you won. If anybody wants to put it into the chat, just in case you can't hear. Okay, and now we're going to do the Hungry Heart Cafe, $25 gift card. Spinning around. 1, 2, 3. We have Rosalind.
Congratulations.
So I need to get that those items to you guys. If you would like to, I'll connect with you afterwards just to get your either your mailing address, or I can drop it off to you. We'll get that into the mail for you. So thank you and congratulations for winning. And now we're going to leave off. Sheldon, if we can get you to share your screen. Good boy. And play the video. So we're going to leave this up. Actually, before I do that, I apologize. Forgot one item. So we put together every year a Christmas hamper, and this year we've done a little different. We put together a card hamper for a family in need, and that was through the Community Food Sharing Association. And I met with Noel yesterday to drop all the cards off to him, and he's going to ensure that a family gets all of these cards. So we raised over $450 for the family. Thank you very much for everybody who contributed and helped out with that. A family is, you know, during this time, it can be a struggle for many people. And it just feels really good to be able to help in some way. And we appreciate you for your contribution to that. So now we're going to leave off with A Wonderful World by Stella Circle. And Sheldon, if I can get you to share that, that would be awesome.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I see babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I see babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
All good. I think we can stop the share, and hopefully that puts some cheer into your lives, and we'll do the editing and make sure it looks all smooth when we when we send it out to the group. Thank you very much for everybody for being here today. Merry Christmas to you all, and we'll see you in 2021.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Blessings.
Can I just say something, please?
Merry Christmas. You can, Sheldon, yes.
I just wanted to say, to go along with that last song, What a Wonderful World, go along with how 2020 was and our group that we have here, with some positive thinking, it can be a wonderful world, even if you only think that it is. And instead of looking only at the negative, if we all continue to look at the positive, it will be, once again, a wonderful world. And we will get through this together, continuing to, with help from our friends. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Sheldon.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Katie.
I agree with you about that too. It's going to be a lot of positive things going to happen.
Absolutely.
Most definitely, Linda. Most definitely.
Yeah. God bless.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
God bless. Merry Christmas.
God bless.